Today, let's just take a walk and watch the sunrise. It's the part of the day that I like the most, although I like all the parts of the days. But I do like getting up early and seeing the sunrise. And sometimes if you find a place to walk that you've not walked before, like you're visiting somebody or you're camping, and you venture outside of your comfort zone physically, like, go down to the woods or down to the beach or someplace. Sometimes it's just magical. So today I'm going to show you how I painted this. This is really super easy, and you don't have to paint every single branch. No. You don't have to paint every single rock in the street. You don't have to paint anything exactly as it is. That's one of the beauties of being an artist. That's why it's called an art. Does that even make sense? But anyway, you know what I mean. I also have a poem today by Maya Angelou. It's called On the Pulse of Morning. And so that's in this video as well. Oh, I think I hear somebody awake. All right, let me get beginning. Let me show you the video. That's already recorded, so let me turn it on now. And thank you for watching. Good morning. It is the morning. Are you a morning person? I am a morning person. I've always been a morning person. I've always gotten up early. It's kind of my favorite thing. And just getting up early isn't enough. You kind of have to go outside. You have to go outdoors. Even if it's just to your porch, which is what I do now. Hey, there's a little spider on my paper. Do you see him? He's off the page. Well, Mr. Spider, you're going to get wet if you go much further. You can't see him. Let me show him to you. Can you see him right there? Well, there he goes. Little tiny spider. He's a morning... I was going to say he's a morning person too. No, he's a morning spider. I'm getting this wet on purpose. I mean, obviously it's on purpose. I'm getting it extra wet, super wet. I just want to bring things down. Okay. So I'm going to take some of this. I'm trying to think how I want to do this. Take some of this, whatever this is. Oh, that's a brown. I don't want a brown. How about I get a gray? Get a gray and make it a grayish, bluish morning. There we go. A little bit of a blue. Wait a minute. That's not it either. Well, we're working here. There we go. All right. Just get it everywhere. The whole idea here is to spread it out. So yes, you don't have to, but I enjoy going outside in the morning. And then, I don't know, it's just something I like doing. I don't know why, I've always liked that. When I was a little kid, I'd wake up before everybody. When I was a little kid, I slept upstairs. I think a lot of kids slept upstairs, right? I think everybody slept upstairs in my house. Wait a minute, let me think about that. I think we all did. I want to make this somewhat of a white area here. Kind of right there. Keep it white. Keep it right there. So, I have a poem about the morning. It's from Maya Angelou. Maya Angelou. Am I saying her name right? And so I'll share that with you in a little bit. I think this might be a quick one. It looks like it's going to be a quick one. I just want to get some of these colors on here. Trying to make it an eerie, misty morning. Maya Angelou's poem is called On the Pulse of Morning. So I tried a couple of things for the channel, for this channel, and I decided I was just gonna use my own intuition or whatever. I was trying to decide. I was getting overwhelmed with suggestions and feedback, and I appreciate everything, but I didn't realize how many people would be writing to me. So I can't. And then I subscribed to this program that helps you, supposedly. And it's a good program, but you know what? It's not for me, because I'm not really trying to do. I don't know what I want to tell you when I tell you I don't want to do this. But what I do want to do, I just want to paint. That's all I want to do is paint. So that's why I'm just not going to use those services anymore. There, can you see it already? There's the sun. It's creeping up in the morning. I'm going to put a little hill here. And we'll put some trees in there, of course. It's always important to put trees and things. Oh gosh. So it's been kind of a busy couple of months. And now, can you believe it? It's already the 16th of July. It's already the second half of the 7th month. That's proof that time flies. I keep saying I need to do more. I keep saying I need to start doing Christmas or holiday pictures. I did one so far. What do you guys think? I think I should do them. One thing I remember from last year is that even though I'm pretty quick with making those cards, I still only make one a day. And so if you have, 70 people on your card list, well, that's a no-brainer. It takes 70 days. So, and I don't really want to do every single day doing the same thing. So, all right, just kind of put some dots on here. Well, now, as you can tell, everything is wet. The whole card is wet. So now I have to let it dry. So now is a good time for the poem. It's called On the Pulse of Morning. It's written by Maya Angelou. Let me show you what she looks like. That's her. That's Maya Angelou. She was an American poet. She's described as a memoirist. She was a civil rights activist. She was born April 4th, 1928 in St. Louis, Missouri. She died at the age of 86 on May 28th, 2014. So she's been gone 10 years. She passed away in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Oh my gosh, that's a beautiful place too. It's a beautiful area. She is credited with a list of plays and movies and television shows. She received dozens of awards and more than 50 honorary degrees. She published 7 autobiographies, 3 books of essays, 7 books of poetry. All right. She went to California Labor School and George Washington High School. All right, let me read you the poem. It's called On the Pulse of Morning by Maya Angelou. A rock, a river, a tree, hosts to species long since departed, marked the mastodon, the dinosaur who left dried tokens of their sojourn here on our planet floor. Any broad alarm of their hastening doom is lost in the gloom of dust and ages. But today the rock cries out to us, clearly, forcefully, "Come, you may stand upon my back and face your distant destiny. But seek no haven in my shadow. I will give you no hiding place down here. You, created only a little lower than the angels, have crouched too long in the bruising darkness, have lain too long face down in ignorance, your mouths spilling words armed for slaughter. The rock cries out to us today. You may stand upon me, but do not hide your face." Wow. Well, I wasn't expecting that. On the Pulse of Morning by Maya Angelou. I did not expect that. All right, now I'm going to take some of this wet. And do I want to use it wet? Or do I want to let it dry first? You know what I want to do? I'm going to let it dry first, but I'm going to work down here. I'm going to make the lower part darker. And that'll be how I let the upper part dry. I'm going to try to do everything with watercolor today. You never know. I might end up using gouache. I have a tendency to use gouache. So, wow, that was a poem I didn't expect. I see. I don't pre-read them. You can tell. I don't pre-read them because I want to be as surprised. Is that a good word? As I want you to be. I want you to be surprised. And I also want to be surprised. I want us both to be surprised. I never actually went to art school, but I took art classes in high school. And the art teacher would often play record albums. Remember? Remember vinyl? I know you do. And sometimes the record albums were spoken word albums like Rod McEwen. And do you remember like a comedy troupe called Fire Sign Theater? Yeah, I remember he would play those albums also. So it was kind of fun to do art and listen to those albums. And I always thought, back then I thought I was going to be a musician. I thought I was going to be a songwriter, even though I took art classes. But I still thought that was my destiny. And but I always thought when I got older, I would do art, and I would do it in such a way so that I could listen to albums and talk to other people like I did back then. Isn't it weird? Because that's what I'm doing right now. These are shadows. I'm putting the shadows in before I put the trees in. I just thought it'd be kind of cool to have the sun there and just blowing some shade across the road here. Yes, and this is a road. This is like children, right? When a child draws something, they have to explain to you what it is. What is that? What is that a picture of? Yep. We never, well, not everybody, but I never get tired of hanging out with little kids. And there's one good thing about being a grandpa, let me tell you something. It's that you get to, I don't know, spoil them more. Is that a good way to say it? You know, you can be a little bit more forgiving when they need to be corrected. Oh my gosh. And the other good thing is, you know, when your own children are the ones who have to do the correcting now. They now better understand what you went through when you were raising them. Right? That makes sense, right? Alright, let's take some of this orange and see if we can place some little things around here. I'm going to create this look of a gravel road or something. A lot of times I use illustration skills to do my art. It's kind of it's a fallback for me because I don't really think I'm an artist. I think I'm an illustrator. So it's kind of my license. It's kind of my excuse. Why isn't it artsy? Why isn't it as artsy as it should be? Why isn't your art artsy? Well, I'll leave that up to somebody else. I'll let somebody else be the artsy one. I just want to be an illustrator. I just want to paint pretty pictures on things. And right now, lately anyway, those things are greeting cards. And I'm not alone. There's a lot of people who are enjoying the whole idea of painting greeting cards and then finding somebody to give them to. And then, of course, I've had a few people ask me, what do I do? Like, because I've mentioned that I do illustrations for children's books. Well, I do. I don't do them every day, though. It's not a full-time job. It's, well, like right now I have an assignment, so I am working on it every day now, but, you know, once an assignment is done, I'm not doing it every day. Does that help understand it? And there's always this, what do you call it again, when you're not supposed to show what you're working on? A non-disclosure agreement. I think that's what it is. And Robin takes care of that, but I'm not supposed to, on these videos, I'm not supposed to share it with you. Could you hear me? I whispered. I'm not supposed to share it with you. I can talk about it, but I can't tell you the storylines, and I can't show you the art. Do you know what happens sometimes? Is I'll work on a book, and then the author will decide not to give me credit for the art. And so if you look at the book, it looks like the author did everything. I always wonder about that. And then I say, oh well, no biggie. I got paid. I did my part. I was able to go buy a lemonade and a burger. I was able to go buy something. Got a little bit of cash. But I do like the ones that are for children, mostly. My favorites, to be honest, are the ones that Robin and I do ourselves. Robin is a good writer. Robin writes very well. Is this coming out the way I want it to look? See, I kind of want this stuff back here to have an orange glow a little bit. Are you guys following the political world? I am not going to talk about it too much, but I'm just wondering if you're following it. It's just... I did the news for so long when I did radio that when I first got out of radio, I didn't even watch the news anymore. I was so tired of it. I didn't really think it mattered to me. I'm not so sure it does anyway, even today. But anyway, sometimes it's hard to avoid. You turn on the computer or the TV news or something. Alright, that's all I'm going to say about it. Let me shift my mind to another place. Okay, one more thing about that. I did have an assignment that was political in nature, but it's okay. It wasn't bad. That's it. Not talking about it anymore. I'd rather talk about my grandson. Do you know what he did, my grandson? Can I brag about him a little bit? You don't mind, right? You can brag about your children and grandchildren too. That's why we're here. We're here to chat about the little ones. I guess in school they teach him different languages so he can speak. Well, he can't really speak fluently Spanish, but he could sing the happy birthday song because, my son's birthday was the other day. That's his daddy. And he was able to sing happy birthday in a couple of different languages. He knew Spanish and he knew French, happy birthday in French. Don't ask me to repeat it. I don't know what he said. And he did Mandarin Chinese. Mandarin Chinese, holy crap. I'm sorry, holy cow. Holy crow. There you go, that's the word. That's the word we're looking for, crow. Alright, let's get some darkness here. I know it's not watercolory when I do these little dabs, so let me add a little watercolor there. There we go. And see, now that top part is drying. And we can do something with it. Alright, so what I want to do, let's see how, because it's a little bit wet, let's see if I can make a tree here. It's a little bit too wet. It's a little bit too wet. Well, this is going to be our first line, but it is too wet. I can't do that. Alright, I'm going to have to turn the camera off, I think. And I have to turn the camera off and dry it. I'm still working on it. See, I always do that. I tell you I'm going to turn the camera off and I don't. Or I tell you I'm going to stop painting and I don't. Alright, let me put some, I just thought of something. I could put some lower things here that if the water spreads it out, it's not such a bad thing. Alright, let's get some orange down here. It's okay. That's working out. I guess that's going to be the tree right there. It just has to dry. All right, let me turn the camera off and I'll be right back. Okay. Now it's dry, pretty much. Pretty much dry. So let's get our little blue brush, which is the one I like. Which is my favorite brush? Oh, now I'm confused by my own brushes. Is it this one? Or this one? It doesn't matter. Let me see if I'll use this one. Alright, so there is our mistake right there that has to be fixed. That's okay, we can fix it. So I'll just take this and bring this line down here. And bring that down, make that one of our trees. There we go. I want to make sure we get some of these other ones more of an orange color. I kind of want them all to be. Oh, do you hear some motorcycle out there, really? But yesterday we had a close call. A car turned right in front of us and I had to slam on the brakes. It scared me, scared Robin, scared her mother. We're all riding together. Alright, let's get some of these here. Get lots of branches here. I mean, just a lot of branches. Just a lot of branches. These are trees without leaves, so it must be autumn. Just keep painting them in. Now over here, where the sunlight is, make them a little bit darker than that. Come up here, make it very thin. Just keep adding branches, very, very thin branches. all the branches, they intertwine with one another. I like making these cards for people. I'm already thinking about who I want to give this one to. You hear that bird outside? He's hungry or looking for a friend. Let's get as many trees in here, I think, as I can. In this first part here, anyway. It will lighten up as we get closer to the bottom. So when my grandson was talking the other day, he was telling me, he was singing in, as I mentioned, he was singing in Happy Birthday in different languages. And I said to him, how did you get so smart? How did you get to be so smart? Was it your mommy or your daddy? Who made you so smart? He said, I made myself smart. I said, wow, you made yourself smart. It's an unexpected answer, right? I thought he was going to say his teacher or something, or his daddy or his mommy, or both. Or he said he did it. He did it. Made himself smart. Well, I don't blame him for wanting to believe everything we do on our own, but we don't. We are definitely interdependent. I know you know that. I've talked about that before. There was a armadillo that got hit by a car outside of our house some time ago. And it was in the street for a very, very short period of time before the vultures, the buzzards, or whatever they're called, before they came around. started eating it. It was kind of amazing and disgusting at the same time. I know you know what I mean. Amazing and disgusting at the same time. So, it's the way that God made the world, right? Why are some people so adamant when you bring up God? They're so adamant to tell you that they don't believe in God. I know people don't. But they're very, kind of almost like they're offended that you reference God. You know, it's the last thing I want to do is offend somebody. And another thing that's the last thing I want to do is make it appear that I'm somehow holier than anybody. Oh my gosh. I've lived in my body for so long. I know the mistakes that I've made. Oh my gosh, yes. I'm just basically using one hair on these things here. It's almost like one little hair on the brush. Little tiny hairs. I think you get the idea here. All these little branches. They create a network for the squirrels to climb. There, I think I'm done. No, see, I said that and then I keep doing it. Now, why did I do that? That was dumb to do that. It didn't need to be there. But maybe I'll make some very faint little things here. The sun is shining through. There we go. It almost looks like fire now. Oh, I don't want fire. I don't want it to look like fire. Yeah, I guess that's good. That's good enough. Give me a little bit of a shadow this way. See, I say I'm done and I keep working on it. Because I keep seeing things that look like there should be something in the foreground. Right now I'm seeing little slivers of grass. This is why the painting doesn't really look like the reference photo in most cases. Depends on what I'm doing, actually. Okay. I know it's a simple one today. It's called In the Morning. Morning Woods. Morning Straw. And we fold it, and then we'll have our card done. There we go. I don't know what to call it. I'll think of something, but till now, hope you like it. I'll talk to you later. Bye.